Hello, Dr. Tippins. This is Paul, and I'm demonstrating Lab 5 bouncing ball. Um, this has been a very challenging lab, but I got it done. Voila! So I'm just gonna test this out right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on the center button. No gimmicks. Just gonna let it go. I'm gonna turn this switch on right here. Yes, it bounced. Now this one right here, I'm gonna turn this one on. I'm gonna go ahead and, kind of close the gap to show you that all switches are working. The switches are kind of finicky. Like, it was working. It was working perfectly fine, and all of a sudden, like sometimes, the switch is not even on, and it bounces, and then it's been a hassle. I accidentally broke one of those switches. It was switch 0, and I believe switch 9. I kind of broke it on accident. But anyway, so here we go. This one on bounced. Gonna go ahead and shut this down. I'm just gonna turn that on to show you that it's bouncing on that one rather than that one right there. And then I'm gonna turn this one on right here. Turn this one off. There we go. Turn that one on. Bounced. Turn that one on, turn that one off. Bounced again. All right. Just turn these off right here. Bounced again. All right. This one on. Bounce. 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 So I'm just gonna leave it like this for a bit because it's gonna take some time to get to 99. So with that being said, I'm just gonna switch the screen over here. So my block diagram. Let me pull that up from my Surface and kind of explain to you what I did on this one. So I pretty much kept it simple as possible. So what I did was reset goes to idle, count active, move left, move right, they're all not active. So what count active does is it counts the rising edge of the clock up to 100 million because this is a 100 megahertz clock cycle. And move left, move right, I will explain that later. And then if you click on the button, it will go to the ball position right here, and all of these are still inactive right now. As soon as you release the button, it's going to go into wait left. And wait left, count active is active, and move left and move right is not active. Now, once count active is active, it's going to count 100 millions clock cycle, and as soon as it hits 100 million, it will activate the 1 second count. And once that 1 second is active, if the collision is not detected, it will move left, and that move left active signal is gonna move left, move the LED left. Just wanted to kind of show you this right here, that it's still running. I don't know if you can notice it, but don't you think it got kind of fast? But I'll just kind of go over that. But you know what? At the moment right here, I'm just going to let it slide out of bounds to demonstrate you that once it's out of bounds, it stays 76. I'm just going to turn this off right here. I'm going to click on the reset. It's going to start again. Okay, I'm going to turn on this switch and this switch and let it run, okay? Back to this right here. So wait left, if collision is not detected and the 1 second pulse is active, then it will shift left. And as soon as that 1 second count goes off, which is, you know, roughly like 1 nanosecond, like as soon as the next clock cycle, it's gonna go back to wait left. Now, if the collision is detected, it will move right. And as you can see, count active is still active and move right is active, and that will shift it right. As you can see, 1 second count when it's not active is gonna go into wait right. And wait right, if the collision is not detected, it's gonna go back to move right. Or if wait right, if the collision is detected, it's gonna go into move left and cycle like that. As far as the block diagram, I have the button center button to the button sync. It's gonna go into the state transition along with the state register. State transition is going to activate the count active for 1 second pulse, and 1 second count is gonna go inside here back into state transition. Oh gosh, this one. And then move left, move right will go into move ball process. Switch is also with the switch sync. I just did it so that hopefully it will switch a little better. I mean, sync a little better. So move ball will generate a ball signal that is 16 standard logic vector, and that's gonna go into LED. And that ball is gonna go into collision check along with the switch sync right here for 16 standard logic vector. And collision is gonna get checked and send out collision detected. And collision detected will go through a collision counter. As you notice, you'll see why I'm actually sensing a rising edge for the collision detected. And the reason why I have to do that is because the collision detected stays on active for quite a long time, so it doesn't make sense for me to do a rising edge clock and if collision detected is active. So collision detected is also connected to the 1 second. And what that does is, so every time a collision is detected, I am going to, so once the clock cycle is counting 100 million, I am going to reload that value as 100 million. But if the collision detected is active, I am going to minus that by pretty much I'm going to deduct 7.5 milliseconds. So by the time it hits 100 collision, the LED will move at 0.25 seconds. So this LED right here, it's getting fast on each collision. Now I can, edit that to make it, get little, decrement little or something like that. But anyway, so collision counter is gonna go through decodes the signal as an integer, and it's gonna go inside the decoder to the 7 segment to show the 7 segment right here. With that being said, while this is still running, yeah, I mean, you could definitely see that it's running faster than 1 second. But with that being said, I'm just gonna explain to you a little bit about the wave form right here. So just to test this out, we have clock right here, button C, button down. Button down is the reset. So obviously, as soon as this is the switch, but this is the LED right here. As soon as the reset happens, there is no LED on right here. So we're just gonna start right here. So button C is on right here. So LED is on, and as soon as move left signal is on, the LED now moves to the left right here. And obviously, as soon as the button is released, the count active is active for a bit now. So let's kind of scroll a little bit. So well, actually, I'm gonna zoom out like this. So you can see that LED right here bouncing right here, bouncing. Now, but one thing I want to also show you right here is this right here. So let's see if I can zoom into that right there. So for this simulation, I made the I made this I made it to so that it counts 64 clock cycles for the count. Usually it's 100 million. 64. So it's gonna count. Now I'm gonna just scroll all the way right here. It's gonna have a couple of bounces because it's gonna have a couple bounces because collision, because I have a switch 7 and 1 on right now. So because I have 7 and 1 right now, oh gosh, 1 second, I have to start this over again. Gosh. So yeah, pretty much I have 7. Sorry. Okay, so I have 7 and 1 on right now, so it's gonna bounce 7 and 1 on the LED. Now one thing that I want to zoom in is the count. As I mentioned, it's gonna get faster. So at first it's gonna count 100, and then I'm gonna have a couple of bounces. And you notice this right here, the hex, it used to be 6-4, but now it's 5F. So what I did was every collision I made it decrement 100, 99, 98, 97, and stuff like that. And if you look right here, we have anode segment right here, 7 segment display right here. Another thing I can also show you is as soon as the collision happens, well, let me show you something about before a collision happened. So right here, before the collision happened, you could see that this right here is move left. So when move left is on, the LED is gonna move left. Now this is where the collision happens, and this is where this right here is the collision detected signal. Hopefully I can make it like this. Yeah, so as soon as the collision happens, the signal collision is detected. This is why I had to use the else rising edge collision detector going to the clock, so that I can, have sense this, rather than if I were to have a rising edge clock, and then if collision is detected, like it's gonna increment the collision counter like crazy. So anyway, so yeah, so it's gonna bounce. So once it bounces, did it bounce yet? So we have move right now. So when collision is detected, and when 1 second is a 1 second counter, when they're both are active, it's gonna move right. Where the previous instance where the collision detected was off when 1 second is 1 second count is on, so it moved left. With that being said, oh my goodness, I'm going to show you my speed for my board. Just gonna demonstrate you the speed as well. So I'm just gonna let it slip by. Now, sorry to make this video long, but for this part you can just skip. There's an arrow button on the keyboard so you can kind of skip. By the way, right now it's almost 5 a.m. I wish I didn't take the other class because I really like this class and I would like to focus more on this class because your class rocks. But anyways, yeah, so let's take a look. You see that ball's moving definitely faster than 1 second, right? So that you can see it a little better, I'm going to, let's turn this one on right here. Yeah, that's definitely faster than 1 second. And as it hits, it's getting decremented by every 7.5 milliseconds. Now, obviously, let's see what happens after 99. 96, 97, 98, 99. The segment is not going up because that's the max value, and it's just toggling. Now, it's still getting fast though. And that is something that, like obviously, that is something extra that I need to, make it happen, but it's definitely getting faster to the point. Yeah. I'm gonna fall it off and then reset. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in about 5 to 6 hours. Bye-bye.